Hey everybody, welcome to the unofficial start of Season 2 of the Matt Report. Let's get started. Alright, let's just get right into this, to Season 2 of the Matt Report. Primarily the Matt Report for the last 100 or so episodes has been all about WordPress, entrepreneurs, folks who are running their business with WordPress, either developers or designers, or even folks who just simply use WordPress to power their business. Now we're sort of making that transition to much more of a focus on folks who are running an agency and launching a product. The last season, Season 1 of the Matt Report was... not to be confused with Season 0, right, of the Matt Report, which is the genesis of it all. But Season 1, the official season, was all about web design, planning a project, launching a project, managing that, how to do budget expectations, how to deliver, and all that fun stuff. Season 1, I still owe you one more episode that's still there. It's still going to come, believe me. It will be here. And I do appreciate you hanging on to that. So Season 2 is kicking off without the unofficial close to Season 1, which is kind of fun. But this season, we're taking a new twist on things, right? I've launched a new product that's called Julep. It's not even a product yet, right? And that's part of this whole journey that we're going to run together here. It's just an idea. It's an alpha stage plugin right now. Nobody has it except for me. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But look, I'm at 68 reviews. I've got this crazy thing. If you go to my website, on the side it says we want to get to 100 reviews. If you like the show, if you like where it's headed, or like where we've been in the past, go ahead and search for us in iTunes. It's just Matt Report. Give us a 5-star review if you so desire. I would really love to get to that 100 mark. It's just sort of a milestone for me. If you want to stay connected to the email list, it's mattreport.com/subscribe. And like I said, this is Season 2. It's going to be a little bit different, so let's dive right into it. This is a new story arc. Like I said, last season it was all about web design. Now we're going to be following along the launch of this new plugin called Julep that I have. And it is really just an experiment to see where it goes. This is something that is maybe chalking up 15% of my energy as it stands right now. It's just this little idea that I have about embedding text on top of your WordPress images, right? Usually when you do that, you might be doing it in Photoshop or some other, web-based service. I want to do that natively in WordPress. When I do some content marketing or I make a new featured image and I want to put the post title on top of the featured image or a quote, I don't want to be shuffling around different files and different services and different apps. I just want to do it right in WordPress, and that's what Julep wants to solve. Whether or not this will actually turn into a business or even just a small recurring revenue stream, only time will tell. And that is the experiment that we're doing here. And largely in part, I've been sort of infatuated with Justin Jackson's podcast as of late and really getting into, he has a podcast called Product People. And then he also has another podcast called Build and Launch, right? And that's the one where he really takes a look at building micro products within a week and sort of journaling all that. And that's really what I want to do with this season of the Matt Report, right? We're going to follow along and sort of journal the launch, the storyline, the pros and cons, the failures and successes of launching Julep. So let's take a look at some of the first things that I've done already. So let's just take a step back and let's just start from scratch, right? I just mentioned where the idea came from for Julep, and now let me just progress with that and say, where did the name come from, right? When I originally announced Julep the other day on Carrie Dill's podcast, I got a few folks sort of IMing me saying that they were scratching their heads like, I don't get the name Julep, right? Julep. I don't understand that. It doesn't really make sense. And you know what? It doesn't have to. Apple didn't make sense when Apple launched. BMW is actually Bavarian Motor Works, right? Company, right? So you don't say, it's not odd today to say that you drive a BMW, which is just a 3-letter acronym, right? I'm sure that sounded weird when that company launched. So I don't really the point of that is I don't really put a whole heck of a lot of critical thinking into a name, which is not to say I don't think about the name of a product at the same time. Like, I just don't think that the success of a product really lies within its name unless you're talking about real niche things. Like we have a plugin for making custom post types, and it's called Custom Post Type Maker, right? So that makes sense. People need to find a custom post type maker, and that's what they search for. Same thing with our one-click child theme plugin. You want to make a child theme in one click, that's what you search for, right? So in those instances, it makes sense. But when you look at like an Apple or Google, I mean, obviously those things don't make sense until there's actually a brand awareness behind it, right? So Julep to me is number one. It's a great drink, right? It's a great bourbon drink. It's light, it's fun, it's refreshing, or at least that's the way that I think about it. And I feel it's the same way when it comes to sort of playing with images, making images a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging, and the whole lightweightness, good tasting feeling of it all really should be built in to the experience of using that plugin, right? So that's sort of where the name has come from, and I really think that we can do some fun things with it. So I have the idea, I have the name in my head, and it's time to sort of start drafting out what this product is going to look like. And I'm taking a very MVP approach, as so many of us do sort of in the startup world, and I started putting some sketches together, and you can get this on the blog post called Just Launched, and you can see these sketches that I put together, right? But there were 3 slides that I did that I was going to present to a developer, an unknown developer at this point. And I just sketched out the 3 easy steps it took for somebody to add text to their images. And it was step 1, we upload the image very much like you do in WordPress, right in the WordPress media gallery or inline to the post. And then you click on Edit Image, which is built right into WordPress. So I haven't changed anything there. I'm not creating anything new. And the point of me illustrating that is that I don't want to introduce anything new. Like I want this to be as native to WordPress as possible, right? So I just use the Sketch app and I start sketching out what I want to do. The step 2, the second slide, is where it sort of gets a little bit more in depth. And I've illustrated a little icon, a little text icon, right near the other icons in the WordPress editor. And again, just take a look at these slides. It'll make a little bit more sense, especially if you're not familiar with WordPress. And what I want to happen is you click on the text icon, and then a text editor pops up on top of the image so that you can drag and drop it, you can rearrange it, you can spin it around, you can shrink the text, you can enhance the text, you can change fonts and things like that. And so I just illustrate that right in the graphic, and I point to what's going to happen, and then you hit save. And that's it. It's a quick 3-step process. Upload, edit, save. Right? There's no other thing that I want to happen other than that. And I put it together in these 3 slides, and I demonstrate that, I illustrate the steps, and I have this little package ready to go to bring to a developer. The next step in the process is finding the developer, right? And that was a little bit tricky, right? We're really busy at the studio, so nobody in-house is going to work on it. We're very busy with client services as it stands right now. So I had to go into my pool of freelancers that I've worked with in the past, and I sent them the mock-ups and got a couple responses back. But one of them came back, and they said, I think this is going to cost $500 to build the concept. So within a week and a half, I had the concept ready to go. It's still a very early stage. It's a few bugs that are still in it right now, but it's a working model. It certainly works. I can add text. You can move it around. You can spin it around as we demonstrate in the video. And for $500 in a week and a half, I had this concept built, and now it's really the hard part, right? Now, can we enhance this? Do people want it? Can I get feedback? So on and so forth. And that's where a launch strategy would typically come in if you were really setting this up to be your central product. At the time, I'm not really making this my central product. This is something that's sort of an experiment, if you will, right? I hate to say experiment, but it sort of is. It's not consuming all of my time and resources. It's very much part of the show, part of a training and education for not just me, but hopefully for you as well, right? So how do I launch this? Well, I was lucky, and this is where luck comes into this one, lucky enough to get Carrie Dills to have me on her show, and it was totally coincidental, where she reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to be on the show? And I said, yes, absolutely. And it was just coming down to the wire where I knew that I was going to be getting my alpha version of Julep ready. So literally a few days before the show started, the alpha version was there. And within 30 minutes of the show, I put together getjulep.com using our Symphony theme and conductor and note, and put a quick demo video together, no audio, no sound, just quickly showing Julep in action. And you can see that at getjulep.com. And I got that done in like a half an hour, right before the show started with Carrie. And I put a MailChimp subscribe box on there, widget. I used, I'm going to eventually probably use my Opt-in Monster license, but for now I used Opt-in Cat, I believe is the name of it, and from the folks over at WPcast.fm. He does easy pricing tables as well. And it's just a quick, super fast way for me to add in a nice little MailChimp opt-in widget, which again works great for my site. And I got that done again in a half an hour. And I had some misspellings. I actually spelled Julep wrong in the title, but I whipped this all together in 30 minutes right before the show. And Carrie didn't even know I was going to promote it until we actually initiated the phone call, and I told her about it. And so from that point, from announcing it on the show to over the weekend up until recording this, I'm at 17 subscribers, right? And I want to triple that. That's the goal moving forward. Hopefully, before I get into a publicly available beta, I'd like to get that list to about 50 people, right? So if you're interested in testing out Julep, especially in the beta round, go ahead and head over to getjulep.com, sign up in that subscribe box, and you'll be the first to know when the beta rolls out. And I'll probably be promoting a little bit more. Like I said, I'm really hoping I can triple that list from 17 to just over 50 would be my ideal spot before launching into beta. So where do we go from here? Well, that's the interesting part. I'm not sure yet. I'm putting out this post. I'm putting out this episode. It's just launched, right, is the post title over the Matt Report. I'm trying to get some feedback to see what people think about the idea, what people think about this launch process. Do you even like the idea of me journaling this stuff, right? I have some thoughts in the back of my head, like I'd love to get a co-host who's also going through the same process as me right now, somebody who's familiar with the WordPress space, familiar with business, not their first rodeo, but somebody who's been in it before that's just getting ramped up to launch another product, sort of like what I'm doing here. And I'd love to have those either weekly check-ins or bi-weekly check-ins with a co-host to find out the things that they're learning, even though they've done it before. Maybe some things that they're learning along the way. That'd be kind of interesting. And then I'm just sort of, I got a toss up here. Like when I launched Conductor, we did a paid beta. Everybody who spent $100 now has the $400 license. They were grandfathered in from opting in early. When I launched that on Carrie's podcast almost a year ago, I did $4,000 in sales one day. It really helped recoup the development cycle or the development cost that we put out there. And I'd love to recoup the process or the cost again with Julep. I'm $500 in, or $509, I guess, if I count the domain. And I'm still up in the air. I think Julep will definitely be something that's freemium, given that there are a lot of ways to solve this problem, and not everybody might not see the need for it, but they might like it in their WordPress website. So I think this one might particularly do well straight to a freemium model versus Conductor, which is premium only, right? It's a commercial product only as it stands right now. So that's just where I'm at with Julep, and it's just going to be an interesting ride. And hopefully when I come back on the airwaves again to talk about this, I've sort of made that decision and got some feedback. So again, I'd love your thoughts. If you are listening to this and you want to check it out, of course, it's getjulep.com. You can head over to the Matt Report and go to the just launched post, and you can leave your thoughts there. And just let me know what you think. If you like the idea, what you think I should do business-wise. If you think it's a crazy idea altogether, just let me know. And again, stay subscribed to the mailing list. It's mattreport.com/subscribe. We're going to love to have you. This is the official kickoff to Season 2, so I'm super excited. It's just a whole new sort of way of doing the Matt Report, and I hope you're as excited as I am. Thanks, everybody.